Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm going live as I have information. You can tell I'm here. I've been researching all morning. I've been wanting to get information about the Council of Councils meeting that happened on April 21st of 2025. So many of us probably know by now that RFK Jr. has initiated an autism study based on recent CDC um, analysis. And I talk about that a lot in the live stream that I did a few days ago. But I'm coming live right now like this. I don't think I've brushed my teeth today because it's been really important to me to get this information out as soon as I had it. So, the Council of Councils meeting is where the NIH director, Dr. J. Bhattacharya, gave an update about this autism study and where it's headed. I honestly have not even read this yet. I had it. Let me tell you, I've worked hard to get this. So there was not a transcript available. And the meeting agenda was available shortly after the meeting, but then the video was not posted. And it took days for the video to be posted. And then I believe the video was posted on Wednesday. And the video is over 5 hours long. So I have not had time to watch the full video. And I wanted to find a transcript so that I could find the word autism and read every instance where autism was talked about in this Council of Councils meeting. A transcript is not available yet. It is eventually, but it's not on their website yet. And it's really important to have this information. I have not been able to find it anywhere on the internet yet. Not any news sources are citing like the meeting notes or anything from this Council of Councils meeting. So I've been working hard all morning to find a way to get this transcript. So now I have the 5-hour transcript of the Council of Councils meeting that has not been posted to my knowledge anywhere else. So I will share that with you. I'm going to copy this link and put it in the live chat now. The transcript will be available on their website. It just, I mean, I mean, they could have gotten it up by now because I figured out how to do it this morning. But so the transcript is in the chat. And then I believe I put it in the description of this YouTube video. But if I haven't, I'll go back and do that. Also, you can check out my website where I'm adding up to date information. It's on my homepage, but I'm putting that link in the chat as well, momonthespectrum.life/RFK. I've got my other videos on there that have. I walked you through the RFK Jr.'s press conference speech, like almost line by line, a lot of the lines. So the video is there, the transcript is there, helpful resources are there, as well as emails that you can copy and paste to send to representatives and advocacy networks. So with that being said, let me jump into the Council of Councils meeting. So just to recap, RFK Jr. Had a press conference, I believe, on April 16th. Describing an autism study that he was initiating with the help of the NIH director, Dr. J. Bhattacharya. And then on April 21st, 2025, there was a Council of Councils meeting. And what this is, it's a NIH Council of Councils. It advises the NIH director, Dr. J. Bhattacharya, on the policies and activities of the Division of Program Coordination, Planning, and Strategic Initiatives. They abbreviate this as the DPC-PSI in the Office of the Director, OD, NIH, the National Institutes of Health. The council meets 3 times per year to review DPC PSI policies and programs and to conduct concept clearance and second-level review of selected DPC PSI and OD grant applications. I know that's a lot of letters. The important thing is we know that the Council of Councils is a group, I believe, of 27 professionals who synthesize information and present it to the NIH for planning purposes. And yes, okay. So this meeting was in Bethesda, Maryland, and it was the first Council of Councils meeting in 2025. They usually meet 3 times a year. Let's see. Yeah, 3 times per year to review policies and programs. And this was a 5-hour meeting. There's also an hour of the meeting that's a closed meeting. So I don't have any information about what was shared there. I know that it was a smaller group of people. So the 5-hour meeting is a large group of people. And then, so I believe it's the council members in addition to like some auxiliary resources and support that they can reach out to during the meeting. And then the meeting condenses for the closed meeting. And then after the lunch break, Dr. J. Bhattacharya addressed the council with his updates. And that's what I want to share with you today. So in that 5-hour meeting, there are, to the best of my knowledge, 17 examples, 17 uses of the word autism. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through this segment of the meeting, so that we know what was stated there. And like I said, I have not read this myself. I just was so happy to finally have, happy is the wrong word, but I was so relieved to finally have the transcript in my hands because I haven't been able to find it anywhere else. And I don't know what was said during that meeting. Okay. Thank you, Ashley, for that confirmation. Okay. So this is, let me give a brief background of Dr. J. Bhattacharya, MD, PhD. He was nominated as the NIH director by President Trump on November 26th of 2024, and he was confirmed by the Senate on March 25th of 2025. That was very recently, obviously. He is overseeing the nation's premier medical research agency, is how he was introduced in the meeting. And he will play an instrumental, these are quotes from the meeting, he will play an instrumental role in shaping the agency's activities and outlook and ensuring they align with the president's Make America Healthy Again commission. He's a renowned doctor, research, and health economist. He held a tenured professorship in medical school at Stanford University. He has research that has focused on population aging and chronic disease, particularly on health and well-being of vulnerable populations. Okay, so that's a brief background on Dr. Bhattacharya. And in his introduction, he said, "I love the NIH. To me, it's an institution that I'm absolutely committed to making serve the American people. The mission of the NIH is absolutely the core of my research agenda as well. Research aimed at improving the health, longevity, and well-being of the American people. That's a mission I think we all can agree on." Hello, Pela, Kip. I'm so glad you're here too. All right, so this is, I believe the meeting started at 10. Let me see if I can find, here's the meeting agenda if anybody would like to check this out. This is also in the video description. So the meeting started at 10, and then after lunch, this is the first thing that happened after lunch at 1:15 p.m. NIH updates by Dr. J. Bhattacharya. Thank you for your patience. I'm autistic and context is important. So now that I've set the context, here we go. These are, this is where he talks about autism initiatives and everything that you're going to hear me say. These are the 17 instances where autism was mentioned in the 5-hour meeting. Okay, Dr. J. Bhattacharya's words. Let me talk a little bit about a few early initiatives that I've worked on. So first is an initiative requested by the President of the United States to Secretary Kennedy, and then transmitted to me to initiate a research program so that we have a better understanding of the etiology of the autism spectrum disorders, as well as associated conditions. To do this, the NIH is launching an initiative inside the Office of the Director where the goal is to integrate diverse data, enabling researchers to examine complex factors influencing the rapid rise in autism spectrum disorder. In 2022, the MMWR, the CDC, estimated that 1 in 31 children had some form of autism spectrum disorder, a very sharp increase from previous years. And let me mention real quickly that this transcription was provided through Clipdo. That's the service I use to transcribe this, the audio from the video file. Okay, autism spectrum disorder. This is Dr. J. Bhattacharya's words again. Autism spectrum disorder is a highly heterogeneous condition with many potential causes. And understanding its etiology is absolutely crucial to developing treatments for the range of conditions that this disorder represents. The NIH is committed to identifying causes, risk factors, and treatments through investments in research programs, coordination of interagency activities, and collaboration with the autism community. To this end, we're launching an initiative to accelerate the understanding of causes and improvements in treatment. This new initiative will leverage large-scale existing data resources as well as data resources that are available throughout the rest of the federal government, as well as in the private sector. If needed, researchers can generate new data that will link to these and openly query contributions, contributors, risk factors, and causes of autism. To do this, we will use a rapid timeline of a large grant process that will be run through the Office of the Director. We will subject the external researchers who apply will be subject to normal review processes and have access to the data resources, which I'll mention in just a second. The idea would be that somewhere between 10 to 20 groups of researchers from across the country, again, run through normal NIH processes, would be able to ask questions using methods ranging from basic science to epidemiological approaches to other more applied approaches to ask what causes autism and how best we can treat and manage autism so that so many millions of families have an easier time dealing with the problems caused by having an autistic child. Next slide, please. So if you're just now joining us, this is a transcript that I was just able to extract today from the Council of Councils meeting where the NIH director, Dr. Bhattacharya, was talking about the autism study as initiated by RFK um, by request from President Trump. So back to Dr. Bhattacharya's words. He says, I recognize, of course, that autism is a range of manifestations ranging from highly functioning children to children that are quite severely disabled. And of course, the research will account very carefully for those distinctions, the highest quality proposals. To make this happen, what we're going to do with the NIH is launch a real world data platform. The idea of the platform is that the existing data resources are often fragmented and difficult to obtain. The NIH itself will often pay multiple times for the same data resource. Even data resources that are within the federal government are difficult to obtain and used by researchers. So what we're proposing is a transformative real-world data initiative which aims to provide a robust and secure computational data platform for chronic disease and autism research. So I take back what I said earlier. I have seen that quote on, I believe it was CBS that was reporting on this. So there are some people that have gotten either had insight into what was happening in the meeting, or had other ways of getting this information. I have heard that quote out there. Okay, back to Dr. Bhattacharya's words from the Council of Councils meeting on April 21st. He said, this data platform, though, will be unveiled and used for the autism issue I mentioned earlier. It will also be available for other research programs within the NIH on chronic disease and other topics. The platform will facilitate collaboration across the Department of Health and Human Services and fellow government entities more broadly to establish a comprehensive launch of health data sets with broad coverage in the U.S. population. This will include claims data for Medicare, Medicaid. We're working on a memorandum of understanding, MOU, with CMS to establish broader data use agreements within the NIH for that purpose. It'll include electronic health record data from the private sector, and it'll include other claims records. It'll include existing data resources, such as the genetics data that the NIH has, as well as toxicology data and environmental exposure data from across the government and private resources, including private industry. He continues, many leaders in the data science space have contributed to this strategy from DPC/KIPC offices, programs, and across the ICs. And so this platform will feature the cutting edge knowledge that the NIH already has. If you look in this figure, you can see that the platform will integrate and link data from real-world sources, such as pharmacy chains, so that you have medication records, health organizations, including the VA, Defense Health Agency, Indian Health Services, clinical data, as I already mentioned, electronic health records, so you have access to labs, imaging, genomics, claims, and billing data, which often provides detailed diagnostic information, as well as information about the use of occupational health. Health and other resources, environmental data, air pollution, environmental toxins, as well as some data on sensors and wearables like smartwatches and fitness trackers. By bringing these data together in one place, providing access to advanced computation resources, and leveraging the latest techniques, the AI techniques, the platform will accelerate research and create new opportunities for cross-agency use of data and real-time health monitoring, developing national disease registries, including a new one for autism, enabling faster drug development, enabling longitudinal data sets to better understand the progression of disease, and launching national competitions as well as research programs for innovative and cutting-edge research to answer key questions such as the one of the etiology of autism. The real-world data platform will preserve the privacy of patients, sort of within the context of the platform itself. Researchers will be able to do their work on the platforms but not be able to download the data themselves. For those of you joining us, this is transcript from Council of Councils meeting on April 21st, 2025. The words I'm reading are from Dr. Bhattacharya, the NIH director. He continues, there are state-of-the-art protections to make sure that although linkages across the datasets will be permitted inside the platform, that these linkages do not in any way threaten the confidentiality of patients. To do this, we will form collaborative partnerships with federal, state, and private entities to expand data resources and identify opportunities. The platform development will leverage existing programs as a foundation, such as the Healthy Baby Child Development Program, the National Institute of Aging Linkage Program, which currently links NIA-supported study data and CMS claims data, and the NCATS N3C platform, which systematically collects data derived from chronic health records from different institutions and harmonizes these data into data enclaves. We'll use all available funding mechanisms to build new partnerships and research opportunities. The strategic approach will enable an agile implementation, engagement with non-traditional research partners, and support NIH-wide development to drive platform growth. I've already reached out across HHS, including to CMS and other entities within HHS, as well as in the NIH itself, and have had nothing but enthusiasm for participation in this. We've had a great conversation with some of the folks in military health who are also quite eager to get these data in the hands of researchers so that we can ask questions, again, not just about autism, but about a whole range of conditions that would benefit from close analysis of these data by expert researchers in the extramural community. The project will have predefined milestones and checkpoints, ensuring efficient operation. Wrapping up here, there's about 3 more paragraphs that he shared on this autism study. This is Dr. J. Bhattacharya. But the key thing is that we will make sure that these processes the key thing is that we will make sure that the processes inside to obtain and use these data inside the new real-world data platform guarantee patient safety, protection of patient confidentiality, so that while research access will be easy, harming patients as far as their confidentiality is concerned will not be possible. Okay, last bit of my talk. I want to talk about 5 major aims I would like to accomplish as NIH director, and let me just put this as a blueprint for the future of biomedical research because I think the NIH can play a tremendously important role in shaping what the next century of biomedical research will look like. So first, and you can probably tell from the time I spent on the autism study and on the real data platform, the NIH absolutely must address the key health needs of the country. Since 2012, the United States has had flat life expectancy, and since the key mission of the NIH, one of them, which is to expand longevity of the American people, has not been achieved. And with the pandemic, the life expectancy collapsed even further, and only recently has it come back up to 2019 levels. Chronic disease problems, including obesity, diabetes, heart disease, I can go through the whole litany, are so prevalent, inflicting the lives of millions and millions of Americans. The Make America Healthy Again idea is something that's basically uniformly popular. Let's see, there's one more paragraph here, but I don't know if I'll just read this last paragraph because this is where he wraps up his segment on autism. I'm not sure if there's anything specifically autism related, but after this, he goes into a different topic. And the NIH must play a role in making sure that we focus on those diseases that most afflict the American people so that we can improve their health and address the needs that they have. The kinds of approaches we have will aim at not just the cutting edge research that produces expensive new treatments, but also scaling and making more accessible new findings that will be available to the whole of the American people, not just a part. We have to find better ways to prevent, treat, and cure chronic diseases. Our research is not simply focused on how to manage late-stage chronic disease, but also on how best to prevent the development of chronic disease and then the complications of chronic disease once it's in the early stages. And if we can, find cures to do that as well. Okay, so just to wrap this up, that was, as far as I can tell so far, every time autism was mentioned during the Council of Councils meeting on April 21st, 2025, that was the NIH director, Dr. J. Bhattacharya, speaking on the plans for that study. The transcript, let me share the link again. It's also in the description. Here's the transcript to that meeting, and then the agenda for the meeting. I'll share that as well. And then I'm keeping my website up to date with all of this information that I'm finding and compiling. So here's, I've got it on, it's like at the header of my website now. You can click momonthespectrum.life/RFK. And if you're interested more in RFK Jr.'s perspective on all of this, I walked through the press conference, all the comments that he made during the press conference in my most recent live stream before this one. That's like an hour and a half. And I also go into depth on That's a very in-depth live stream that I did kind of on a comprehensive approach to what's going on with this new autism study. So check out that link if you're interested. Please share any resources you come across that are helpful, because what's important now more than ever in our community is communication, is standing up and using our voices. On my website, you'll also find templates that you can use, that you can copy and paste and send to representatives. There's a very easy way to find your representatives. You just click on the link on my website, enter your zip code, and then it'll give you the email address for your representative, and then you can just copy and paste the emails that I have. There's also autism advocacy networks that you can reach out and contact, just asking for help and support. So I wanted to get this information out as soon as I had it. I think we all deserve transparency and authenticity. So this is the latest information that I have available on my website. Thank you for watching. Follow me for more updates. I'll do the very best that I can to stay on top of all of this news for us, and just know that we are in this together. So stay strong, focus on the things, the important things, okay? Our loved ones, ourselves. Make sure you're drinking water, drink a lot of water. That's a simple thing we can do to stay regulated. Rest, stem, intentionally stem. Okay, I've got videos on the importance of that. Intentionally stem. That can help us when we're stressed. Make sure you're eating, prioritize rest, and go outside, spend time in nature, focus on your special interests. It's okay to feel overwhelmed and scared and frustrated and angry. Feel those emotions and then keep going. Okay, feel them, rest when you need to, and then keep going. We're all in this together. Sending so much love. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here, and I'll keep you posted. All right, bye.